ARMS. It's Nintendo's newest IP, and one that has garnered as much criticism as it has praise. But now that the very first consumer demo, dubbed the Global Testpunch, has come to an end, how does it stand up? Let's get this out of the way right at the beginning. When ARMS was first announced, I looked at it as another quick cash-in title, or at least one that really didn't interest me. It looked goofy and like there wasn't a lot of depth. But as time went on, the game began to grow on me, particularly the art style. Nintendo kept dishing out info and I started eating it up, and I certainly wasn't the only one. ARMS began to amass a massive following amongst the fans, getting an insane amount of fan art before the game even released. The Global Testpunch was Nintendo's way of getting Switch owners to try out ARMS, hopefully convince more people of its merits, and presumably to see how well the servers function with a large group of players. Judging from the over 119,000 tweets about ARMS within just a few minutes of the Testpunch ending, I'd say it was a success. ARMS controls surprisingly well for being totally motion controlled. There's definitely a learning curve in order to get good at the game, but you can get a decent grasp of how everything works pretty quickly. Punching, jumping, blocking, grabbing, and dashing all work about how you'd expect, but there's a good level of depth to their simplicity. Being able to curve your punches accurately, for example, takes a lot of practice to be able to deliver your punches to exactly where you want. But the payoff is super gratifying. The only thing that consistently caused issues was physical movement of characters around the arena. Unless you're holding the Joy-Cons perfectly upright, you will be moving in some direction, which means that aiming itself can suffer if you aren't paying attention. I often found myself on the opposite side of the ring from where I started without even realizing it, but that may speak more to how incredibly engaging the fights are than to movement itself. This seems like something you'd get better at controlling as you play more, but I figured it was worth mentioning. The character roster is impressive too, and even though you can't play as every character during the Testpunch, sorry Twintel fans, the characters that are available are full of bright colors and personalities. I've got to be honest, Ribbon Girl was my favorite out of them all, both in design and in maneuverability, but they were all very well designed and each will have their own little fan club once the launch hits. Now, with all the good things I've had to say, you're probably thinking I played a lot of ARMS within just the hour that we were able to. Unfortunately, you'd be wrong. The majority of my time with ARMS was spent sitting there attempting to connect to a lobby, ultimately failing, and then starting the process over. And this happened a lot, and I mean a lot. One time it even happened before the game even fully registered that I had selected a character. And a few times the game flat out told me to turn off my Switch and reset it. Now, I'm sure part of this is due to how terrible my internet connection is. I'm visiting my parents right now and the guest room is in the basement. I have internet, but it isn't always the greatest. Couple that with more people than Nintendo probably anticipated using the servers for the very first time, and you have a recipe for dropped connections all over the place. I'm sure I wasn't the only one with these issues, but I'm sure they'll get everything ironed out by launch day, if not by the next Testpunch. But again, it's worth mentioning. Backing out of a lobby took quite a while, but I imagine that the game is already searching for matches while you pick a character, and halting that process likely takes a bit of time. Again, take this with a grain of salt, as this is the very first widespread test of the servers and any issues will likely be fixed by the time the game launches. Once you're in a lobby and are actively searching for a match, you can play a practice game that involves hitting moving targets in an arena. You can try out any combination of your selected arms here. There were 3 available for each character in this Testpunch, meaning that using both left and right arms, there were a total of 9 combinations possible for each character. This allows you to get used to movement and aiming in a non-combat scenario, and I really appreciated its inclusion. It's a neat way to mask the amount of time you spend searching for a match, while also helping you get better at the basics. Overall, I'd say that I really enjoyed ARMS, which is weird since I didn't really play that much of it. But the characters, the music, the polish, it all drew me in and created that Nintendo charm that I missed out on by not buying a Wii U. I absolutely adored my very short time with ARMS, and I can't wait to try it out again. I honestly think that ARMS is going to be Nintendo's next big surprise hit, the next Splatoon. Well, at least until Splatoon 2 comes out. So, what do you think? Does Nintendo have another strong IP under its belt with ARMS? Let me know in the comments below, or tweet at me, at Tylerium Games. It's on the screen probably right now. If not, link in the description. It'll be there. Trust me. And before anybody says anything, as of this video, I realized that there's a Testpunch releasing on Saturday and Sunday as well. But considering my poor connection with the first one, I figure I won't get any more good footage from those to share with all of you. I'm going to try to play in them, but unless a miracle happens, this will probably be my only time getting to play ARMS until the June Testpunch, which I think is next weekend. I'll be back in my apartment and should have good internet by then, hopefully. But hey, who knows? If I get more footage, I may make another video updating you on my thoughts on ARMS. Until next time, see ya!